Hey folks, Chris Denny with Denny's Country Life here. Today I'm going to make a video on timing your plunger stroke with your knotter slash needle assembly. So this happened to me in the field. It happened because I made it happen. I replaced the chain that actually cycles your knotter. So when I did that, I thought that I did everything properly, and I didn't. There is no procedure in the owner's manual. There's a procedure for timing your stuffer forks, and I think just adjusting your needles and a couple other really basic things, but they don't go into this. And this is actually a lot more simple than I thought it was. It took me a while to figure out, but I got it. So this little clutch setup, this will free spin. So when I replaced this chain, I didn't touch the knotters. I left the knotters exactly where they were, and I locked the flywheel in place just like this so that nothing could move. And then when I installed the new chain, what I did was I accidentally turned this drum out of time. So you see that hex head bolt? That hex head bolt, on the other side, what it fastens is it's a dog. And what that dog does is it catches on a little, it's like a ball bearing on a spring assembly. And so when you trip your knotter, okay, there we go. When this gets tripped, this guy gets pulled back, and then it releases that ball bearing. So that the next time this little dog comes around, it catches that ball bearing, and then it cycles your needles up to your knotters, etc. And you got your little brake over there to make sure that your knotter assembly doesn't get out of its home position. So I messed it all up when I did that, and I had no idea. So I got out to the field to do a custom job for a guy. He really liked the bales that came out of my baler. Anyway, I got there and I was just busting shear bolts, and I couldn't figure out why. Thankfully, my plunger stop that's located down there worked. Otherwise, I would have crashed into my needles and it would have been pretty bad. But so what you do if you end up with this out of time, your plunger will hit that stop, assuming that your stop works. If your stop doesn't work, then it's going to hit your needles. So make sure that what you do to retime it here is disconnect your number 40 chain, trip your knotter engagement linkage so that this locks, pull this nut all the way forward until it engages with that I'm just going to call it a ball bearing on a spring. Make sure that dog is up against that. Now, with your chain disconnected from this, what you're going to do is you're going to put the I guess just the plunger connector rod at a 90-degree angle, so pretty much straight up. Right now it's not totally perfect. I just did this as an example. Well, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn your flywheel by hand. Make sure that you're not tying any knots. Make sure that you pull your twine out. So rotate this so that the plunger is cycling inward. Get this at a 90, lock your flywheel in place, come over here, make sure that your bolt here, your dog, is indexed up against the little loaded ball bearing assembly, so your knotters your needles are just about to start cycling up. That is where your plunger has to be in order for it to cycle without either hitting the needles at a different part of the cycle or without hitting your plunger stop. So that's it. So once you get this indexed up against that little ball bearing on a spring assembly, then pull your chain tight and then reconnect it. So what I did was I got my master link. There you go. I got my master link to a convenient place, and then I pulled it tight up against it. Once you do that, you're now in time. Make sure that you check it, obviously, by hand. throw your knotter engagement linkage and cycle it. So at first it's going to look like your plunger is going to smack into your needles because you're right now with this arm being at a 90-degree angle. You can tell your plunger is just about to start going in, which it does. So your plunger does have reliefs, 2 reliefs for your knotters to actually go up through as the plunger is coming in. So when you're first doing this, it seems counterintuitive. It seems like you're going to run your plunger straight into your needles, but you're not. You're safe. So that's it. Put that at a 90. Index your bolt, trip your linkage, reconnect your chain, and you're timed. So I really hope that this helps. That was a pretty frustrating day out in the field. I had to go borrow a buddy's baler, and my tractor's actually in the shop, so I was on a rental tractor. So I was doing a custom job with everybody else's equipment. So that's just not a good day. This Massey Ferguson 128 baler has been an incredible machine for me. It has put out thousands and thousands of bales, and it just does not skip a beat. So when this happened, it kind of blew my mind. It was absolutely my fault. I screwed up and I replaced that chain. So when you replace that chain, this is basically exactly what you have to go through to make sure that your plunger is in time with your needles. So that's going to do it for today. Hope all is well for you. Happy hay season. Take it easy.